Well, Venezuela descends into flames in an open revolution amidst an as yet unfulfilled promise by the widely recognized acting President Juan Guaido to take what 58 nations in the Venezuela legislature say is rightfully his, the title of acting president. But attempts to drive out the totalitarian dictator Nicolas Maduro failed just recently, so what to do next? Joining us to discuss and analyze is LibertyNation.com international correspondent, managing editor, and host of the new LibertyNation.com podcast, The Rabbit Hole, Politics and Prose, Mark Angelides, who will also discuss the dangerously fraying political situation in England and Europe. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
I appreciate it. Now, the word coup is a misnomer because what Guaido attempted was to take what the Venezuela legislature handed him, the title of acting president, as recognized by no less than 58 nations, including the U.S. But does the recent failed so-called coup mean the time has passed for Juan Guaido to successfully take the presidency, or is hope still alive for that?
It's a pretty fluid situation, Tim, but realistically, the time is still going. This is by no means a done deal, a finished so-called coup, as you say. The legislature has granted him the powers of acting president. And the only thing that's keeping Maduro in place at the moment is he has what's called the legitimacy of being the president at present. It's still a very active situation.
3 million people have fled Venezuela. 3 million. I'm wondering, Mark, if people are aware of what 3 million people untethered from their country not that far from the United States will ultimately mean for the already out-of-control border situation on Mexico's southern border and then, of course, America's southern border.
Yeah, it's a situation that people haven't really thought about the massive ramifications of. I mean, American involvement, we can talk about how a country shouldn't be interfering in other countries, but this is going to affect America, whether that's a million new, well, let's be fair, refugees is what they'll be, homeless refugees turning up on your border there. It is an American issue. I mean, at the moment, you say 3 million. Latest estimates suggest that could be closer to 5 million. And while many of them have gone, I guess, south to Brazil or west to Colombia at the moment, if the situation doesn't change, they're going to keep moving.
Well, Mark, it's been said that the urgent is often the enemy of the important. So, I mean, forgetting even the violence and corruption of the regime of totalitarian Marxist Nicolas Maduro, how is it even possible for a country sitting on literally an ocean of oil to descend into total economic collapse and hyperinflation with the currencies now essentially worthless?
Well, I mean, that's the $64,000 question, which, of course, in Venezuela is about $64 billion now.
Yes.
Realistically, what you have to look at is how these countries are run. These are not good people who run these countries. They spout the right words of equality and fraternity and liberty. But essentially, they're just strip mining the country. Look at one of the nations that is heavily supporting Maduro in Venezuela is Cuba. And if we think about Fidel Castro on his death, his net worth in assets was $900 million, and this in a country where the wage is $25 a month or something. And this is what's happening. You've got corrupt people who claim the socialist banner of, we'll make everything better for everybody. And at the same time, they enrich themselves. This is an age-old story that nothing changes. It happens all the time.
Okay, moving from South America to Europe and the UK. Mark, I noted the headline of one of your recent stories. UK faces dangerous political moment in history. Electoral suicide imminent? ? How so?
Well, this 3 years on, we haven't left the European Union, as I'm sure all the listeners know. We should have. We should have left on March 23rd. But owing to the parliamentarians and Theresa May, they failed to actually bite the bullet on this and just take us out. So what that means is that we're actually heading into another set of European Parliament elections. So these elections is for the European Parliament. They're running all European Union countries between the 23rd and 26th of the month. Now, we shouldn't be going into these. That's the thing. We should be leaving. But under the treaties that we signed with the EU, if we're still in, we have to stand people in this election. Now, unless Theresa May can cobble together some kind of deal, it looks like we're going to be having those elections. And in those elections so far, Theresa May's leading Conservative Party is not going to do very well.